This right here was a download from my dream. This is a femininity spread. Now granted, all the hubbub going around about femininity, from what I see, is so much on the outside, not really the energy, the change that needs to happen on the inside. So the universe gave me this spread. It downloaded in my dream. So this is for somebody. Again, this is a femininity spread, and it was created to bring more attention to internal shifts, not so much, the it's still external as far as like the way you look and the bath and the nails and all that superficial. This is speaking more to like the way you speak, being cooperative, being pleasant. Those are the traits, in my opinion, that really are the foundation of really tapping into your femininity. So let's get started. This is a spread, so each card is a specific, answers a specific question. Okay, so where we're going to start, like I said, it came to me in a dream. So we're going to start right here. How can I love myself deeper? That is something that a lot of women struggle with. I mean, we all have tapped into it, but it's like really loving who you are, knowing who you are, and really loving who you are. I can't express that enough. The next card is what's blocking me from like following my initiative. And all this is going to tie together. What's blocking me from following my initiative? This is definitely related to loving yourself, because if you really don't have a real feeling for yourself, how are you going to trust yourself? So the love and following your intuition is they connect. They're related. How do I recognize my own worth? All of that. You got to love yourself to know your worth. You have to trust your initiative to know your worth. So that it all comes together. Instruction. This one is instruction. How do I feel feminine at my core? How do I really feel the feminine energy truly that I desire? How can I feel that at my core? How can that be the foundation of where I move from and trust in my intuition? How do I draw to myself my own? How can I attract that which I want? Whether it be even it's out the external femininity, the internal calm and flow of femininity. How do I attract that to me? How can I open up myself to receive that? And lastly, all of these together will really, I do believe, they give a foundation of how to go about really developing your femininity from a spiritual standpoint, pretty much. Okay, first, how can I love myself deeper? First thing I see here is dancing, living out loud. You may think this is simple. These are small things, but these small things build up. Dancing is crucial. Dancing as far as like releasing your sacral chakra. That is like almost one of the foundations of being feminine. Also realize in this dancing, and this also goes to like as far as dancing, your out loud will not look like anybody else's, and that's all right. Own that. That's how you can love yourself and love yourself deeper. Realize what you do and how you move. You're not supposed to look like everybody else. You're not supposed to be like everybody else. You're not supposed to think like everybody else. Granted, there's a collective and there's a common collective, but for the most part, you are supposed to be you. But like I said, what I see in here is dancing, releasing. You know, sometimes as we get older or as we mature, we stop moving as much. We get a little bit more sedentary. We don't go out as much. We don't date as much, or those kind of things, you know, tend to slow you down. And especially in your sacral chakra that needs to be moving, it tends to get stagnant. And this is like our hip area, thighs, you know, our glutes, those muscles will tend to get really tight because they're not, haven't been moved. And they hold a lot of tension, we hold so much energy in our hips. So there needs to be a release. So the dancing, so love yourself deeper by really feeling yourself when you dance, feeling yourself, you know, as you move, as you shake, finding your sensuality again. Okay? Next card. What blocks me from following my initiative? What is blocking me from following my initiative? What is really blocking me from trusting myself? From really, you know, without any hesitation, just listening to my intuition and just following it. Shame. Shame can get locked in your hips. Shame can definitely cause you to lock up your hips. That it settles there. It settles in our hips. That's why I like when she's sitting here, she's got her hips open. Resistance. And truly, you don't think you're enough. You don't believe that you're enough. You really don't trust who you are. You don't express yourself. You don't open yourself up. You don't open yourself up to yourself. You tend to be embarrassed about yourself to yourself. Now, that's something we all struggle with because, you know, hearing the voices, but that is something that needs to be addressed and needs to be heard by somebody. You are embarrassed to yourself, inside yourself. You need to accept all of you. This is a work. This is not anything that's going to happen overnight. This is a process. This is a practice. Learn to trust yourself, accept yourself, and be honest with yourself. Open up and trust yourself. Next one. How do I recognize my own worth? How can I realize I am worthy? How can I let go of the shame and open up and release all this energy out my hips? How can I recognize my worth? Damn, okay. Energy was with me with this spread. Okay, perfect. Worthiness. Open up. Open. Stop shrinking. Open up. Trust yourself. Stop shrinking. Accepting all of you. And realize that you are needed. You need yourself. And there are others that need you. You are worthy. You are worthy of being loved. You're worthy of being pleasured. You're worthy of being confident without shame. You are worthy of living out loud, opening up your hips, releasing, expressing yourself, no matter what it looks like. If it doesn't look like anybody else, that's fine. That's more reason to do it. So realize your worth. Like I said, this is a process. This is a process. This is a practice. One thing at a time. And then eventually it all comes together. How do I feel feminine at my core? How do I feel feminine at my core? At my foundation. Truth. Be honest with yourself. Live your truth. Shame is a lie. Shame settles in your hips. Shame is a lie. And you are worthy. Tell yourself the truth that you are worthy. You are worthy. You're worthy of expressing yourself completely. You are worthy of living without shame and with confidence. You are worthy. You're worthy of being loved. You're worthy of being here. You're worthy of being exalted. You are worthy. Say it to yourself. Say it to yourself. Also, be ready to accept the truth. The truth, and also be ready to hear the truth. That's one thing. We can dish it out, but sometimes we can't take it. But you need to be able to really get to the foundation of what is your why. What is your why? Why do you want to feel more feminine? Is it just to get a high value man? What really, don't you want to feel more feminine to feel better, to allow the universe to express itself completely creatively through you, to be able to express yourself, to feel, to because we as women, we are curves, we're waves, and whereas men are lines and boxes and stiff, we are supposed to move. We are supposed to flow. That is our nature. Be honest with yourself. Let go of some of that masculine energy that you're holding on to. I mean, you may feel like you may need it. There's a place for it. But right now, the softness needs to take over. The softness, the relax, the sensuality, the flow, the quiet, the passive. Not doorstop, not doormat, but passive. There's a difference. Lastly, right here. How do I draw myself my own? How do I draw to myself all of this? If I'm not living out loud, if I'm letting shame hold me down, if I don't feel worthy, and I am not accepting the truth, how can I bring all the positive of this to me? How can I get all this to me? Level up. Pow, 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 pow. Level. Raise your standards. Plain and simple. Raise your standard. Your choices. Your choices. And what you choose to think, the people you choose to deal with, can completely change the vibration that's around you, and it can elevate your vibration. Just swords cut, eliminate. By cutting off and eliminating and severing ties with certain things in certain ways and certain practices and certain habits, that can allow you to raise up, allow you to rise up. Like I was saying over here, life isn't linear, but it doesn't go in a straight line. And we as women, we do not flow in a straight line. We move, we curve. Men are a little bit harder. We need to find more acceptance, more confidence, and be more accessible to our curves in our thinking, our curves in our speaking, our curves in our expression of ourselves, our curves in the way we dress. Even though, begin again, cutting off, the elimination is going to seem drastic, and also with an elevation. But if you start now, little by little, as you cut off, it's like pruning. You start to grow new leaves, new branches, new ideas, because you've done some elimination, you've done some pruning to make things better, to let things grow back fuller. Get accustomed, get comfortable in this state, in being in this state. Yes, you are worthy of a higher vibration. The truth is, the higher vibration will serve you. The truth is that shame is not your friend. It's a lie. It's in your hips. It gathers and it starts to create issues with moving and walking, because you're stagnant, because you're not living out loud and you're not dancing. You're worthy of all this. First and foremost, you are worthy. Embrace this. Embrace this. Embrace who you are, every single bit of it. And then once you realize that what your truth is, and if it's something you don't like, you can cut it off. You can sever it and allow something else to grow there. And that will alter the vibration of your surroundings, and you and the people you attract to yourself, and those that you want to be around. Elimination is key. That is key. I have oh Lord, affirmation. This goes perfectly with it. And this is probably why the universe gave this to me for this spot. You know, how you draw to yourself your own is like, I am harmonious, poised, and magnetic, and I now draw to myself my own. Recognize your worth. Recognize your worth. I have another one for this one. I've got so many affirmations. This one, the God in the midst of me, the God that's inside of me, the Goddess who dwells inside of me is mighty. The God in the midst of me is mighty. Be well.